Week 2 is now behind us. Let's turn our attention to week 3 here. We have 4 trade targets you need to be going after in your Dynasty leagues. Trade target number 1. This is a monster name and a guy that just has not lived up to expectations to start the year. And that's A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown right now is wide receiver 43 in points per game. People are disappointed, especially because Devontae Smith looks great. He has been spectacular. Right? He is a top 10 wide receiver right now, averaging over 20 points per game. Meanwhile, A.J. Brown is averaging under 11 points per game. However, I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Not only does A.J. Brown have a track record of being an elite asset, right? Just look to last season. He was spectacular with Jalen Hurts. He also has elite usage still. The usage has not gone anywhere. They just haven't connected, and even elite pass catchers have volatility. A.J. Brown has a 28.6% target share. He has seen a 51% and a 26% air yard share. So he is still seeing a lot of targets. He is seeing deep targets. He is going to get right. It's just a matter of when. It really could be as soon as week 3 because he's capable of basically torching any defense at any time whenever he wants. So I am not concerned about A.J. Brown, but people are. People will get concerned, right? Because people aren't rational, especially in season. 2 trades that have recently taken place for A.J. Brown, and I don't really understand these, even in Superflex leagues. They're both one quarterback for A.J. Brown. It is Daniel Jones for A.J. Brown and Jordan Love for A.J. Brown. I'm taking A.J. Brown over both of them in basically any scenario. I think he's better than both, and Jordan Love has been solid. He has been very good, but I still prefer the elite wide receiver in A.J. Brown. Looking to trade target number 2, this guy is not a buy low target by any stretch. I think he's a buy high target, which you rarely see. But as a contender, Tony Pollard needs to be a player you are actively targeting right now. Through 2 weeks, the volume concerns, right? The volume questions. Is Tony Pollard going to be the guy? Well, he's averaging 25 opportunities per game, right? 17 and 33. That gets us to 25. The usage is there. He's being used in the run game, in the pass game. And honestly, that should be higher if they did not blow the doors off the Giants in week 1. Tony Pollard is a 20 to 25 touch a game player, and the Cowboys are using him that way right now. So I'm buying him on all contending rosters right now. He is an elite player in an elite offense with an elite defense that basically allows them to run clock at end of games and allows Tony Pollard to pick up extra work. And even if they're ever trailing, Tony Pollard is used in the pass game all the damn time. So Tony Pollard is really one of the safest players you can get right now on your contending rosters. And he's not going to come cheap. He shouldn't come cheap. Even as a 26-year-old that's about to hit free agency, I am spending up because wherever he goes next year, I think he keeps the juice, he keeps the workload, he gets paid. So I am in on Tony Pollard. When we look at price right now, it's semi-pricey. It's not as bad as I think it would be, and I think his situation or his age is probably keeping that price down just a little bit, which makes sense. But right now, the first trade I saw, Tony Pollard, Amari Cooper, for Calvin Ridley and Isaiah Pacheco. Calvin Ridley's the expensive piece here, right? Amari Cooper has not been great. He's injured. So really, I'm viewing this as Pollard for Ridley and then Cooper for Pacheco. I prefer the Pollard side. Even with all the hype and the production for Calvin Ridley, give me the package of Tony Pollard and Amari Cooper. And the other one I want to highlight here is Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and a second for Tony Pollard, Zay Jones, and a third. I don't really get why Zay Jones and a third are in this deal. I prefer Tony Pollard over Najee Harris. Week 1 usage, and I'm recording this prior to the week 2 game, so maybe Najee blows it out of the water and is back to being 90% of the snaps or whatever. Give me Tony Pollard over Najee Harris, right? Najee looks to be trending to be a low-end, mid-level RB2. Warren's his handcuff. The second is cool. Tony Pollard is by far the most valuable piece here, and I don't really get it, especially if this is for a contending roster. Check out the DLF YouTube membership. This week, we are dropping a Dynasty Stock Watch video. Basically, how are certain players trending? That is going to be exclusive to our YouTube members. Check that out, guys. The bonus content here is going to give you a ton of extra in-season content that is not available to just everybody. So check that out, guys. Bonus content here on the DLF YouTube membership. Sticking at the running back position, we are now back to our buy lows here, and I am looking at Javonte Williams coming out of week 2. In week 1, he sees a 61% opportunity share, playing 45% of the snaps. After week 2, that jumps up to 71% in terms of opportunity share, but he's still at that 45% snap share, which means as his snaps go up, his opportunities are going to continue to rise. He looks to be a player that should regularly have 70 to 80% of the touches in this backfield, and I don't think we've seen the best of him this year. Right? If you've been rostering Javonte Williams this entire time, you knew this was going to be a long haul, right? This is going to be the long play here. Pirine is starting to, lose work. You have McLaughlin, who scored a touchdown on one touch. I'm not concerned about him. Basically, Javonte Williams is going to be the 3-down back that you want to roster in this offense. He hasn't really been super expensive. If we look at trades over the last couple of weeks, he went for George Pickens straight up. And I get that, right? For contending to a rebuilder roster, I love that for both sides, honestly. Not a huge Pickens fan, but if I can move Javonte for him, I get it. And if I'm contending, I would much rather have Javonte Williams, who should be ascending this year at least, over George Pickens. And our last trade here would be Jaden Reed and a second. Now, this took place before Jaden Reed's week 2, so now you probably can't get a second on top. But Williams for Reed, I'm fine to make that swap again, similar to George Pickens, in a contending for a rebuilder type of deal. And to close us out, guys, we have probably the least exciting name I'll touch on as a trade target this entire season, and it's Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is old. He's in a terrible offense. But Zach Ertz is still producing as a tight end 1 as of right now. He is currently the tight end 9 in points per game. He has over a 29% target share. He has seen 18 targets in 2 weeks. And to be honest, he hasn't done a ton with them. He really hasn't. But what he's doing is filling a void that we have at tight end currently, which is who the hell is going to catch passes on a weekly basis? Who is going to be any kind of consistent? He's doing what we expected Tyler Higbee to do, right? Which is just catch a ton of passes, maybe do a little something with it, maybe score a touchdown here and there. Might not happen a ton with Arizona, but you get the idea, right? I'm just going to chase the volume, and maybe Kyler Murray comes back, and that really opens it up for Zach Ertz. There's a possibility there. So when you look at trades for Zach Ertz, what is he actually going for, right? Well, he went for Brenton Strange and a 2024 third. That's nothing, right? If you're a contender and you need a tight end, that is worth the deal. He also went for a 2025 fourth rounder, and then in a separate deal, a 2024 third. So basically, throw a third round pick in any year, you're probably going to get Zach Ertz. He might even be on waivers. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if some leagues he's just slipped under the radar because he hasn't blown up. But the numbers, the usage are fantastic. So I'm fine to pull the trigger on him if I am looking for a tight end on a contending roster. And before we get out here, I do want to throw out 4 quick names that are high-level stars that just aren't producing to their skill set yet. So kick the tires on Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Waddle. Better times are ahead. The volume's there. The production is not. That is going to come. We know what these types of dudes can do on the field. Buy low if anybody is panicking. All right, guys, that is all we have for you. Again, if you like what we're doing, you want to see more of this content, check out the DLF YouTube membership underneath that bonus content tier. If you got questions, you got comments, as always, guys, drop it down below. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.